Hi guys, we're here from City Fan TV. It's Christmas Eve, 9 o'clock in the UK, here with another Manchester City news update. Might be a brief one. I'm not sure how many people are going to be knocking around on Christmas Eve, so we'll see how it goes. Not a lot of news as we build up to Newcastle on Boxing Day. It's only, 2 days away. I think it's 8 o'clock kickoff in the UK on Boxing Day, so not too long to go. I've got a video out tomorrow, so I'll be putting out a video out tomorrow about the preview. Chatting with a guy called Dom, obviously a big Newcastle fan, 30 plus years. So that'll be out tomorrow, guys, and we will do a Christmas Day stream. I don't stop for now, me, if I can. So there will be a Christmas Day stream. That hopefully will be an interesting one. That will be my list of players at the club, current players, and who I think should stay, who should go, who might need a little bit more time. So that will come out. That'll be the live stream tomorrow. So it'll be in the evening, 8-9 o'clock, I think. That's what I'm proposing in my head anyway. That's in my mind. So that's tomorrow night stream. It will be about, as I said, all the squad. Not the kids, but not the kids who hardly get an appearance, but people who are properly in the squad. And my opinion as to what I'd do, whether I want to keep them, give them another chance, sell them. As well as that, I think as we need to bring him to get City back where they were a couple of seasons ago, on top of the tree. As I said before, I think you should be needing 90 points plus to be winning the league. Now, that might not be necessary this season, although, when you look at Liverpool and think, they're not doing too bad. This season, could they get 90 points plus? I don't see why they won't get close. Some people are saying this season could be won with 80 points. It might be, it's all in my opinion. And you never know. It could well be won with 80 points. But I think I'd like to think that there's enough quality there to get about 85, 86 at least. I mean, Liverpool, just to give you an idea, they've got 24 games to go. 24 games. So they could get another 72 points there. That would take them to 103. I think that's right. So 24 games to go. If Liverpool to win, let's just pick a number. Out of 24. If you say Liverpool won, if they won 18 out of those 24 games, let's say they won 18. Okay, that's 54 points. That's 85 straight away. Add a few draws. 5 draws sounds reasonable. Two draws, that's 87. So I think realistically, you're looking at mid to high 80s could win that. City, we've got 25 games to go. We can get 98 points. Okay, so we can get up to 98 points at City. That it's not going to happen. But once again, realistically, 25 games, if City won 18, that gets up to 77. Yeah. If we could win 20 out of 25, I think we've got a chance. But that already gets up to 83. So, we're going to have to put in a fantastic run. Anybody who wants to challenge this season, anybody who wants to challenge Liverpool, I think I'm going to have to put a very, very, very good run together to have a chance. Anyway, it looks like it's just me. I'm going to get onto my Bayern Munich chat. And it's stuff we've known for a while. Look, I talked about this nearly a year ago, very, very many months ago, about the possibility of City signing David Alaba. Now, he's a fantastic player. Absolutely top draw player. He's still not, in my opinion, he's not too old. Still, late 20s. I think that's acceptable. for what City need. He's still, as I said, just check his age, he's 28. So he'll be 29 by the time next season starts. Just, his birthday's at the end of June. So I don't think that's too old, 29 years old. I'm on a mail, and Alex, I'll talk about that. Alex wants to finish about David Alaba. So I've talked about him, as I said, many times. He's fantastic at left back. He played centre back for Bayern last season because they had the need for him to play there. And was it Alphonso Davies was playing left back, and he was fantastic. So obviously they could cover that. And so the great thing is he's a left back, and he can cover centre back for us as well. Now, I said many months ago that he's not likely to sign a new contract. He's asked for a certain amount of money. Bayern Munich won't pay that. So, he's not signed a new contract, and it's not look like he's going to sign one. Obviously, there's a lot of clubs interested in him, besides Man City, Man United. There's talk of him going to Spain, possibly Italy. There's even talk that Liverpool might be interested. I don't see that, honestly, because let's be clear. He has to fight with Robertson. Now, he might think I'm good enough to get that first team spot, but would you want to fight with Robertson, or would you want to fight with Cancelo or Mendy? Right now, it's a no-brainer for me. He's going to have a tough old task to get in ahead of Robertson. I think it's very easy to get it in ahead of Mendy, and it's very easy to get in ahead of Cancelo, in my opinion, for that spot. Anyway, so Bayern, because he's going to go in the summer, okay, because they wouldn't go with these, same as Thiago went cheaply to Liverpool. I said City should have put a bid in for him last summer, a cheap bid, 20 million euros. There's always that talk he doesn't want to come to the Premier League. Well, if no one else is going for him, and money does talk and City offer the right money, why not? Why won't he come here? Unless he dislikes Pep. I don't believe that. Anyway, it's been reported that Bayern may be tempted to sell him in the January transfer window just to get some money. Just, because if he's going for nothing in June, why don't you sell him for 10 million or 5 million euros just to get rid of him? So now, Oliver Kahn, he's one of the board members at Bayern Munich. He's resigned to losing game. He said, at the moment, I don't know how that should happen. He's just speaking to Sport Build. He was asked about if Alaba missed it. He said, we rolled out the red carpet for David Alaba and went to our limits. David and especially his agent, Pini Zahavi, have not walked that red carpet. It seems like he's looking around. We have to accept that. Okay, so, as I said, there could be quite a few people interested in him. There was the talk that he's looking for £400,000 a week, which they won't go that far. Bayern Munich will not go to that sort of money. City can, okay? And it's not a simple matter of paying him 400 grand a week, because I don't think they'll do that. Because it's above their wage structure, okay? What I think they will do is have a deal where, there's a big, it'll be bonus related, I suspect. So you'll have a basic. The basic might be, for argument's sake, 250 grand a week, but they might give him a nice signing on fee, a nice bonus at the end of every season. So if he wants 400 grand, let's say they were going to pay him 10 million anyway as a signing on fee, maybe they pay him 20 and split that signing on fee over the length of a 4-year contract. So they're paying him an extra 2.5 million a year on that contract. Well, that's 50 grand a week. So he's gone from 250 to 300. And if they give him a bonus, let's say of 10 million every year, that's the way they can get around the fact that other players will not be happy for somebody to come in on 400 grand a week. So you pay him a basic of 250 and you find ways to give bonuses to get him up to 400,000 a week. I think City can afford that, especially when you're not paying a transfer fee, just a signing on fee. How much would David Alaba cost if he was available and you had to pay the proper money? I reckon 50, 60 million quid. If we paid him 20 million quid, as a signing on bonus, we're saving ourselves, I reckon, 40 million quid. On a transfer fee, you can pay half of that up to him over the length of a contract. Easy peasy. That's how I see it anyway. So I'll look at some of your comments and I'll get back to this. Hi, Jason. Hi, Alex. I'll talk about that, as I said, Alex, at the end. Monomail, no, if he wants to play left back, and that's what I want him to play. Prithvi, hi. You missed the yesterday's stream. Thoughts on boring game part 2? Honestly, I'm not thinking. I mean, it's first week of January, isn't it? Just want to win. That's it. It's not going to be easy. It's at their place. It's not going to be easy at all. I don't think there'll be any fans. So how much difference that makes, I'm not sure. Monomail, I don't believe that. I'll just wait to see what happens. I don't believe that at all. Hi, Chris. Hope you're well. Hi, Akash. That's it. Merry Christmas to everybody. My Christmas Eve. Anyway, let's move on. So, yeah, David Alaba, I think he'll bring us what we need. I think he'll bring us what we need as a left back. I think he's going to be a lot more solid. And obviously, he's got the pace. He's got that ability to go forward as well, run with the ball and do things that I don't think Mendy is doing enough. And Mendy's injured again. You've got to come to a point where you say enough's enough. He's still only 26, Mendy, but I think enough is enough. 26, 27, enough is enough. Haj, can't believe he got United. Absolutely, buddy. But hey, look, it was 1 in 3 chance, so it's not really a massive surprise, to be honest, Haj. We had to get someone. If we got Brentford, people said, I can't believe we got Brentford. It is what it is. So, yeah, back to David Alaba. So, him running down that wing and doing the business, as I said, I think it's a cheap deal for us. If you look at a 4-year contract, this is how I see it. You pay him £20 million a year. By one way or the other, he gets his 400 grand. You pay him 20 million up front. That's cost you 100 million pounds. Now, it's too much money. I think the club can afford it. As I said, if you were buying him on a proper transfer fee and you're paying 60 million for him at 29 years old, I think that's reasonable. And you're paying him £200,000 a week. That's still 100 million. So whichever way you look at it, I think that's how it'll work out to me. 100 million pounds as a cost. Whether you pay him more up front or more in wages, it doesn't matter as long as it works out something like that. And that will take our club forward. And at the same time, we get rid of Zinchenko. I think we can get 20 million for him. Get rid of Mendy. I think we can get between 20 and 30 for him. Hopefully nearer 30. But take 20, take the 40 million quid, move on. That's how I see it. Take the 40 million quid on those 2 players, move on. And don't look back, look forwards. I can see 1 or 2 others might be leaving this summer. Personally, if Mara's left for 40 million, I'd take the money and move on. I won't cry about it. Anyway, I'm going to talk about my place to leave tomorrow. Okay, on tomorrow's stream, I'll go through who I think should stay, should go, what we can sell, we might be able to sell them for. I'm not going to bother about net spend. I'm never bothered about net spend. But as I said, there's 3 categories: who should stay, who should leave, who should get another chance. I don't think we'll get more than 20 for Mendy, Prithvi. Yeah, the thing is, I thought we'd have got 20 for Mendy if we sold him last season. So I think he's worth a bit more than that. But we'll be lucky to get anything more than 30. He'd have to play a reasonable number of games to command a bigger fee. There was talk of Stones going for 20 million. But here's the thing, Prithvi. Look at the difference. Stones was, it was reported that Spurs could have had him for 20 million. Stones turned the deal down because he wanted to stay in the north. He's a Barnsley lad. His family, the 3 clubs he's played for, Barnsley, Everton, Man City. So his family are in the north. He didn't want to go to London. Fair enough. He didn't want to go to play for Spurs. 20 million. That's what the number was. Now, if you're looking at Stones, how much do you think Stones is worth? 40 million, 50, 60? 6 or 7 really, really good games. Really good games. And his value, for me, has shot up. Stones is back in the 50 million category. So who's to say Mendy, plays a few games, Once he plays a few games, maybe he's back up to 30. But I think you get 20 for him right now, Prithvi. A few games he might get, and if he plays decently, I think you can get 30, but he has to play a bit. Garcia, Mendes, and Checo go to Haj, save wages and get money in by Alaba. Well, as I said, Mendy's probably on at least 150 a week. Garcia's on probably 30 a week. Zinchenko's probably on 70. So you're going to save, I reckon, 250 a week on wages. Pay that's Abdul Kader Frid. As a friend of Mahrez's family, I've been told twice that Mahrez has a real problem with Pep because of his lack of consistency. The player asks for more pitch time to achieve that. Well, obviously, Abdul Kader, I'm not going to say yes or no. You do know Mahrez's family. Obviously, we don't know that because we're all on. Everybody's who's talking to me is pretty much anonymous, and who knows what anybody knows. My feeling is that Riyadh has asked for more game time. Okay, I said last season Pep shouldn't have dropped him after the West Ham game, where we won 5-0 away from home, and he was involved in everything, in all the goals. So I said Pep shouldn't have dropped him, and I was disappointed, very disappointed that Pep dropped him. Anyway, that's a problem for Pep. And Mahrez needs, obviously, more game time. But one thing that Pep doesn't like, and I think Sane suffered from this, I think Laporte suffered from this, and I think Cancelo suffered from this, and I think Mahrez has suffered from this. Pep said he doesn't like sad faces. You remember going back to that FA Cup defeat by Wigan in our Centurion season when Delph got sent off and Pep took Sane off. So Delph got sent off and I think Pep substituted Sane off to bring a replacement on for Delph. Sane looked really... Pep said no sad faces. And he said that before. He said that, he's praised Zinchenko for being happy. Yeah, even if he makes a mistake, he fights for the club and he tries to put it right. He gives it his best. He doesn't let it get him down. Always happy. When he's not playing, still happy. Got a smile on his face. And that's what Pep goes for. Cancelo, when he wasn't playing, he was miserable and there was talk of him leaving in January. Excuse me. So that's an issue. And I think Mahrez has got the same problem because Mahrez, when you look at him, he's not a happy kind of guy. Okay, when I see him, I used to watch a few of the training videos. He's not a big smile, happy kind of guy. He'll obviously when you score a goal, you're happy and you smile and stuff like that. But in training, he never looks that happy. So that might be an issue for him. He's got to be happier, and then I think he'll get more chance. But he himself has to be consistent. You're in a really tough business here where you've got a lot of good players. If you don't focus, if you don't get consistently brilliant performances in, Pep will go for somebody else. Look how many options he's got. He can play Bernardo Silva on the right. He could play Cancelo on the right if he wants. He could put Sterling back on the right and play somebody on the left. So he's really got to knuckle down and do the best every time. Prithvi says, I don't think Mendy has that determination or focus. That's his problem. It could well be Prithvi. But if he gets a reasonable number of games, plays reasonably well, I don't think he's ever going to be the guy we want. I don't think his crosses are not like they were when he first came to City. And I'm not sure he's ever going to get that back. I don't know where it's gone. Obviously, the injuries have taken their toll. It doesn't look the same player. And sometimes you just got to cut your losses and move on. But as I said, if he plays a few games, maybe his value will go back up a bit if he plays well. Because he's still, as I said, Mendy he's not terribly old. He's 20, I'm going to check his age. Oh, he was 26 or 27. Let's have a look. That's interesting. And Mendy. 26, we're 27 in July. So he's not going to be too old. So I actually think that's an opportunity, for City, for him. Play well when you play. Stay fit. Get your value up get shipped off. Mendy could go back to France, go to PSG. I think he'd be comfortable with that, since Mendy comes from a place called Massy, which is less than 30. Well, on a good day, 30 minutes drive from Paris. So playing for PSG, be fantastic. You're not living too far, or your family aren't too far away. That could really work out well for him. And if Paris FC, I don't think he'll go there. I think they could well get promoted into the league. But, why not go to someone like PSG? Chris Welch, PSG for Alaba. Yeah, look, you would expect the following clubs to be interested. Liverpool, but I don't think he'll go there because of Robertson. City, United, PSG, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, AC Milan. That's about it, So when you look at all that, as I said, I don't think he'll go to Liverpool. If Juventus aren't top dogs in Italy, he might not go there either. If he liked working with Pep, I don't see the issue with coming to Man City. Would you go to Man United? Look, he doesn't even need to sign a pre-contract in January. He could just wait to see where people are. If City don't make the Champions League, then he can say, I'm going to PSG. If PSG are struggling, he might not go there. He might go, so he can leave his options open. He can leave his options open for ages. Alexandros, it's not Stephen. It's not Stephen, please. Even at 52, I'd like to think I'm a little bit, even at 52 and an ugly old scrot, I'd like to think I'm a little bit better looking than Stephen, even at 52. Madrid were ready to buy Mahrez, should have been. Yeah, look, you'll find out my full views tomorrow, but that's the issue. There's not a lot of money going around. You guys have got to remember, there's less money than there used to be in TV deals. Okay, the English Premier League TV deal. I'll talk a bit about this when I do the. I talked a little bit about this when I do in the Newcastle preview that you'll see tomorrow about the English Premier League's TV deals. But the external deal, they've lost the Chinese deal, which was the biggest overseas deal, the Chinese one. That's gone. That's been cancelled. So the teams are losing a fair bit of money from there. And new TV deals are unlikely to be as valuable as current ones. La Liga are negotiating theirs. The French league lost their TV deal, £2.7 billion. That's gone, with MediaPro disappearing. That's going to be going to probably Canal Plus, but they're going to lose £265 million from that. That's a reasonable amount of money to lose from that 2.7 billion. Because obviously, I don't know, I'm not on the full details, but if this, let's say 20 teams, they could lose between 5 or 6 million a year from that, 10 million a year, I don't know. And on top of all that, with the COVID, there's not going to be big turnouts of fans for possibly, as I predicted, there might be some small turnouts, but it could be next season before we get full crowds in grounds. And 2,000 people, it's not bringing you much in. If you're used to getting 50 or 60,000 fans, what's 2,000 going to get you? As I said, even if you charge them 100 quid, 2,000 fans, 200 grand, it's nothing. So that's a big issue for the clubs. Someone like Man United, they've had no money through the turnstiles, and by the looks of things, if they don't get any money all season, they've lost over 100. Compared to last season, a normal season, 111 million pounds was their last full season. City's was about 55 million. Liverpool's was about 80 or 90 million. So clubs are going to get stung, and it's going to be the same in Spain. Clubs are not getting as much money. There's not as much money around, free money floating around in the world. Everybody's cutting back, and Barcelona, the players have taken wage cuts. Yeah, they're taking about a 25% wage cut. Arsenal, if they go down, they're gonna their players are gonna lose a lot of money. They go into the relegation contracts, and they're gonna save themselves a lot of money in wages. But there's not a lot of money, and that's my point. So there's not a lot of clubs that can afford what David Alaba wants. Mahrez is really talented, says Monumental. He should leave if he's not happy. Absolutely, he should leave. I don't think he's got a future, Monumental. If we get, for argument's sake, if we get Messi, I don't see Mahrez having a good time, because Messi's going to play up front. There's no question about that. And if Aguero stays, you've got Messi and Aguero, and you've got Sterling and Gabriel Jesus fighting for the left wing. Where does Mahrez play if Messi's on the right? I just don't see it. Hi, Danny to me. Yeah, I'm having a quiet Christmas, I think. Yeah, don't worry about it, Alexandros. But I'm the guy who can afford raises, man. I can afford raises most of the time. I would say Alaba as he can play centre back. That's a good point, Chris. Obviously with your current situation, you could. That would be the thing for Liverpool to do. Go to Bayern Munich and say, we'll pay 10 million euros. We'll take Alaba off your hands and play him at centre back. Wow, what an option that would be. Chris, if I was because I'm in France, it's just a normal day. We would usually have chicken, but if we're in the UK, we'd have turkey. Because I was speaking to my sister yesterday, and they've ordered their turkey, so they'll be having a turkey lunch, and I think they've got a big turkey but we're not going. So because we usually get a big old turkey, and there'll be my brother's family come in and us come in. So there'll be loads of us, 10, 12 people, whatever. He's got 6 in his family. There's 4 of us. That's 10. Yeah, usually about 12, 13, up to 15 or 16 people throughout the day. So you need a big burn, not just off Sesame Street. So, but hey, I suspect tomorrow we'll have, I don't know, it depends what the kids want. Got some chicken, can eat that. Kids love pasta, got some salmon. Just be whatever my missus has cooked. Unless she's cooked some lentils today, I might eat them tomorrow. Cole Wilder's 29 is prime for centre-back or centre-mid, but for full-back it is an ideal. Look at Jordi Alba or Marcelo started declining on the edge. I don't think he's on the decline yet. I don't think. And the thing is, when I talk about it tomorrow, I talk about lots of different positions where I would improve. If we make improvements elsewhere, you can get by. We got by with Zinchenko, with Del for 2 seasons. We got by with those guys, okay? I don't think it's going to be any worse than them. I think it's going to be a lot better than them, even if he's on the decline. And as well as all that, as I said, the rest of the team, if they're playing really well, then you can cope with a slight problem somewhere. I don't think it's going to be a slight problem. Monumental, is Messi really going to come? Ray said he had an interview that he's happy about. Monumental, he's got to say something. Do you honestly think Messi is going to come out now and say, I'm really brassed off being at Barcelona? Obviously, he's picked up his Manchester twang. I'm really brassed off being at Barcelona. He's come out and said he wasn't happy there. Some of that's affected his form. But he can't come out and say, I'm not going to put any effort in for the rest of the season. He can't come out and say, I'm going to leave. He can't come out and say, I'm still really unhappy. He's got to be diplomatic. Otherwise, in the last 6 months could be terrible. And he might still stay. Michael, how you doing, buddy? Do you think we need a new left-back, or do you think Mendy will show his true self when he gets over the injuries and gets full pre-season? It's too late, Michael. Too late. This is his 4th season. He's had 2 seasons blighted by injury. Last season, he wasn't fit, and he didn't show that much for me. This season, he hasn't shown much for me most of the time. He's had a couple of decent performances, but I don't want players to have decent performances. I want them to have really good performances consistently. And he's injured again. So for me, I think he's finished for me at City. City were willing to sell him after the 2nd season, but he was still injured. And nobody was going to buy him, and they were going to make a huge loss, so they didn't. But now, if someone comes in and offers 20 to 30 million, I'd let him go if we can get a good replacement. And right now, Cancelo, I'm happy with Cancelo, but we can do better. That's what we should be doing, which we'll be looking at. We should not be looking at standing still, getting squad players. We need players to make that first team. Chris Welch, Christmas dinner sometimes tonight because usually meet with me and the family. They're lords. Oh, we eat for 2 or 3 days afterwards, Chris. It's so much turkey. But, you see, I'm lucky. I like turkey butties. Basically, I love bread. I love lots of butter. So you put loads of butter on whatever you want to put in that. It's going to taste nice. Nice bread, nice butter, whatever you put in, a bit of ketchup. Whether you put I won't put ketchup with tuna, but whether you put tuna mayonnaise in there, whether you put some chicken in there, whether you put some or an egg, whatever you put inside, or chips, whatever you put inside a butter or jam, it's always great. Thought Pochettino would go for the rebuilding job personally, says Chris. Yeah, it's a PSG. It could go to PSG. Hi, Ali. Hope you're well, buddy. Hey, anybody new to the channel, please. There's no harm subscribing. It's always nice to get a few new subscribers and watch, because we don't just talk about City. Obviously, it's mainly City, but we talk about other interesting topics as well, other clubs a little bit, other interesting items in the news to do with football. What type of left back do you think suits in our current system? Says to sell Munkjin. An energetic fullback hugging the lines and likes to go forward like Robertson, or a left back capable of inverting and creating chances at centre midfield role. For me, if we had a proper DM like Benassa, like Fernandinho, then that's where you want the guy to be able to hug the touchline. That's where we've done the most damage, when we've expanded the pitch. So that's what I want. You'll find out tomorrow how we do that. The Dalek West Ham fan, how you doing, buddy? I'm well, and hope you are too. Hope you're getting ready for you. Rather than Messi or Alaba and Haaland would make more impact on our team. Find out tomorrow who I want. Find out. There's a lot of names, but you've heard me mention probably everybody on my list many times. But yeah, look, Warren Haaland will make a big difference, but I think Messi, for me, the left back is the least of our issues. For me, Chris, Kieran Trippier ban. If you don't know, he got banned for 10 weeks for betting irregularities whilst he was in England. Obviously, it's Atletico Madrid. They won't be happy. They won't be happy because obviously it's something to do in the past while he was in England. But I think they'll have to take it. Very late. Hi, Faris. Well, I was just about to go, mate. I was waiting for you. Kufal, to be honest, Dalek, I haven't seen enough of him. I know, speaking to the West Ham fans, I think I spoke to 3 of them before the game this season. There was, is he the, the Czech guy? But there was bigging up the praises of some of the new players. I'm not sure, is that how you spell his name? Vladimir Sufal or Kufal. Yeah, he's a Czech guy. See, I'm not that bad. No, but he's 28. I don't think he's someone who City will get, simply because of his age and his experience. His experiences in Slovan Liberec and Slavia Prague. So his experiences in lower leagues, at West Ham. So he's only just joined West Ham, and his age is 28. And by the time next season starts, he'll be 29. So I just think he's a little bit too old for what City want. Hi, Dupe. Hope you're well. Hey, season greetings to you, Dre. David Alaba is one of my favourite left backs. He's Alexander, but I like this guy. He can play in the centre. Yeah, look, that's why I say it's great. So if you then if then Aymeric Laporte wants to kick up a stink, who cares? Who cares? Because if you've got David Alaba, John Stones, Ruben Diaz, Nathan Ake. Who needs Laporte? You've got to have options. Cole says, I also want Grealish, although he's mad overpriced, but he's someone we need. He can take the pass. Yeah, we need someone who can take the ball consistently past players. Sterling doesn't do it for me. He tries to use pace, he doesn't use skill. But Grealish will be, look, Villa will want 100 million for him, and we ain't going to pay that. Even 80 million we wouldn't pay. If it was 40 million, I think we'd look at it. But 80 million, 100 million, no. Dre says, seems like Zinchenko leaving is key. It's not. We can do whatever we want, Dre. That's the truth. If we want, if we choose to, we can leave somebody out of the squad. We don't. It's not necessarily a money thing, so we don't need to sell before we buy. In my opinion, we've got the space, the non-homegrown spots. We've got one or two. We might even have two. I was trying to work it out this morning. So we've got at least one. So we've got the space there. So we've got the space there to actually, get in our squad. So I don't think that's the issue. And to be honest, I think Zinchenko and Mendy, one of them or both of them will be leaving. If they both left, I wouldn't complain, because if we get someone like David Alaba in, you've got Cancelo as cover, you've got Laporte and Ake who can play there. What's not to like? Chris Welch, if I were Liverpool to go get Alaba in January, I think that's all we need, a centre-half, but we've coped so far. Yeah, I said it again. I don't see anyone beating Liverpool. I've said it. I don't see anyone beating Liverpool. You're getting stronger. You've coped without him. Thiago's, back training. You've coped. And I think you'll be fine. Alaba was crucial, says Faris, for Pep when he was at Bayern. He used to go to the left side. Yeah, that's it. I have no problem with Alaba doing that for us. Cole says Alaba was younger then. The reason he's moved to centre-back besides injury was it's because Davis is more energetic than Alaba. He says, yeah, but I think also, Cole, you might correct me if I'm wrong, but he was the best option to move Alaba to centre-back because you had somebody else who could do that left-back. So for me, if he's the best one who can play centre back, and you've got somebody else who's good enough to cover there at left back, do it. If you left Alaba at left back, who plays centre back? Even if you said Alaba's still better than Davis, Alaba's going to play left back. Who plays centre back? They needed, and it worked really well. Obviously, it worked really well. So come on, Alaba's only 28. Alaba's 28 right now. Are you telling me he's too old? Then we might as well get rid of KDB. He's 29. We should never have kept Fernandinho. He's 35. We should never have kept David Silva that long because he left at 34. Are you telling me 28's too old? Even you saying it as a fullback? No. Walker's 30. Is he too old? I can't do that. There's players who play into the mid-30s who are still good enough. And I certainly think David Alaba is. Guys, I'm going to wind it down. It's 10:40 here in Paris, 9:40 in the UK. Hope you've enjoyed this little stream. Remember, tomorrow you'll get your Newcastle preview. So that was filmed earlier today with Dom. No, and then tomorrow night, the stream, hopefully around 9 o'clock, the stream will be about the place I think, it'll be my Santa Sack. It's what I want in Santa Sack. It's going to be a combination of who I want to leave, who I want to stay, who I think needs more time, and players that I would like us to buy to make City awesome again. They lost Sule at centre-back and Lucas Hernandez, and both of them were injury-prone. That's why, and Davis put in performance helped Alaba to cope. That's it, exactly. David Alaba was still class. Dani Alves. Dani Alves. Still class. He won the Champions League at Barcelona 32. Dalek, I don't think comments are getting deleted. Some might not get through, but that's on YouTube. Dalek. I don't know why. We had this a few days ago with Faris. Some comments not coming through. I don't know what it is because I've not put anything on. YouTube will hold some if there is anything wrong with them, or if there's we have an automated moderating system as well. If someone writes too many capitals or bad language, So I don't know. Sorry about that. Chris Welsh, happy first Christmas to your niece. Absolutely, Faris. So, look, 28 to 29 is not too old. Dalek says, enjoy your Christmas. Cheers, mate. You too. Danny Alves, that's right. Yeah, guys, I'm going to shoot. As I said, catch us tomorrow. Probably put the West Ham preview at lunchtime and obviously the evening stream in the evening. Last thing regarding signing Haaland, Chelsea entered the race and made him. I don't believe that, but I think it's the best thing. No, the best thing is that talk to his dad. I don't see Chelsea seriously simply because they've got Havertz, they've got Werner, they've got Sammy. I can't see them going for Haaland. Have a great Christmas, Michael. You too, mate. Have a great Christmas, mate. Have a great Christmas, everybody. Yeah, we got a lot of busy. We're fortunate that there's no women's games for a few weeks because the games are going to come thick and fast. We got, obviously, on Boxing Day, we got Newcastle. 2 days later, we got Everton. 5 days later, we've got Chelsea on the 3rd. 2 or 3 days later, we've got United. Probably 3 days later, we've got United or something. And then at the weekend, on the 10th, we've got Birmingham in the FA Cup. An absolute shed load of games. No rest for the wicked. But if we had gaps in our timetable, that means we're knocked out of competition. So we should just be happy where we are. Guys, Alexandros, happy Merry Christmas to you. Faris, well, the preview's already done. Thanks to Sam Moon for subscribing. The preview for the Newcastle's done. I'm going to do the Everton preview on the 27th. That's my plan. I've got someone lined up for the Everton preview. The Chelsea one will be in the can. So it will be, it's going to be crazy because you do player ratings. So we might do the player ratings for Newcastle on the 27th. And the next game is the 28th. We'll be all right. Guys, please look after yourselves. Have a great evening. Have a great Christmas. And catch us tomorrow. Because unlike